Hidden gaze. I always slipped into the art room during the third class break. The cracked slat in the window blinds framed the basketball court perfectly. Qingyi rolled his uniform sleeves to his elbows, the muscles along his forearms tensing beautifully as he jumped. The hem of his jersey fluttered in the wind, revealing a sliver of sun-kissed waistline. My sketchbook burned against my knees. The pencil tip lingered over the tiny mole on Qingye's throat in the drawing, grinding the paper until the graphite smudged into a gray haze. The figure on the page remained forever suspended mid-shot, unlike the real boy who high-fived teammates and let sweat drip down his jawline into his collar. Hey! I snapped the sketchbook shut. Qingyi stood at the doorway clutching a basketball, hair still dripping. Sunset poured in behind him, stretching his shadow across the floor until it brushed the toes of my canvas shoes. It's raining, he said, nodding toward the suddenly darkened sky. Got an umbrella? That's when I noticed the water blooming across his shoulders, his white shirt gone translucent against the ridges of his shoulder blades. My hands trembled as I rummaged through the art supply box. When the folded umbrella tumbled out, it scattered sketches across the floor. Qingyi crouched faster than I could react. He picked up last week's drawing, his profile during the flag-raising ceremony, Adam's apple bobbing to the national anthem. Not bad, he murmured, eyelashes fluttering. The scent of rain and fresh-cut grass clung to him as he leaned closer, but the mole's 2 millimeters too far left. Unexpected intersection. When the jacaranda blossoms began to fall, Qingyi became a fixture in the art room. He claimed to need quiet for physics homework, arriving daily at lunch with test papers. Sunlight sliced golden stripes across his face through the blinds as I counted the rotations of his wrist while he spun a pencil. Graphite whispered across the paper. Eyes toward the light source, I corrected his sketching posture for the 100th time. And stopped chewing the pencil. He grinned, rubbing tooth marks onto his uniform pants. Yes, Professor Lin. The cobalt blue on his palette had somehow blended with ultramarine, much like how his hand resting on my chair back burned a tiny sun between my shoulder blades through the thin fabric. Summer promise. During the final week of college entrance exams, I found a photocopied acceptance letter from the Art Academy in my locker. Qingye's rain-smudged note clung to the back. Beijing's jacarandas bloom 2 months later than here. Between the newest sketchbook pages lay pale purple petals, pinned beneath an unfinished drawing. A uniformed boy napped against an easel, one hand loosely gripping a pencil, the other dangling centimeters above another hand holding charcoal. When the countdown calendar on the classroom wall reached 1, Qingyi cornered me at the hallway's end. His second uniform button pressed into my palm, a warm metal disc with rusting edges. 3 buttons make a wish, his breath scorched my ear. Consider this a deposit. I never told him about the secret on the sketchbook's last page, 2 boys in uniforms standing beneath jacarandas, their clasped hands stretching westward in sunset, shadows long enough to bridge midsummer to early autumn. Epilogue, letters from the jacaranda. The day Qingyi threaded 3 uniform buttons onto his sports wristband, Beijing witnessed its first snow. Breathing against the glass of my Art Academy studio, I sketched a lopsided jacaranda blossom in the condensation. My phone vibrated against the palette, his photo showed a snow-dusted wristband tied to a barren branch, beneath which a nearly buried message read, "Does wishing work now?" As I hit send, my pencil continued dancing across the sketchbook. The wristband in the drawing still had frayed edges, but now it entwined not a hairpin, but 2 Academy emblems. He always complained my charcoal dust stained his silver badge, yet the photo revealed his graduate ID lanyard strung with those buttons. The evening delivery box contained a sports wristband permeated with turpentine, along with a rain-warped convenience store receipt. New graphite mark scarred its back. That day in the equipment room, I mixed jacaranda nectar into the turpentine. Flammables require special care. Like you. Tracing the fresh tooth marks inside the wristband, I finally understood his refusal to replace it. The worn fabric harbored not just blood and rain, but the venom of our interwoven youth, fermenting through years into antidote. When the snow transformed into purple petals, I knew someone had tightened a red string at Chang'an Street's end. Now our shadows needed no sunset to merge, the entwined wristbands had long since become extensions of our veins.